I'm
Oh,
here.
wait, 1 second. Click over here. Click go live. Just to make sure. You gotta do that too. Now you're good. Sorry.
Okay. Sorry. Now Lydia Coster, and I'm getting ready to show you my budget. Now I did do a little adjustments on a couple things, but this is where we're at. Like I said, this is from Lyman Joy, my 2024 extended planner. I purchased this from her site. It is awesome. It gives you everything you need. So I'm going to bring it here. I'm going to try to straighten this up. Now, we did adjust a couple things because there was some problems with last video. So, this is my tax folder. So, this is all my taxes. So, I put my W-2s in here and my things like that. Now, year to date, we don't need that anymore. I printed this. So, this is all of my recurring charges. Now, I'm going to bring it out so I can bring it a little closer to the camera. So in here are my recurring charges. So my Capital One, my daughter's Capital One, I should say. We're going to have every car breaks for 106.12 posting on the 1st. And then Nicor will be posting on this on the 1st for 56. And the Walmart part is a monthly, so that, I mean, an annual. So that's just a one-time thing in February, and then we'll be done with that. And then on the due date for the card is the 5th. So on the 5th, I will make the payment for 162.12 every month. That's the plan. So the next card is Discover Disney Plus. I watch that. I stream with that every day. Or I was. Now I'm watching Amazon Prime, and I started watching that for The Librarians, which is awesome. But then we'll get back to Disney Plus. 79. Okay, we were paying $109.99 a month for Disney Plus for the year. Then it went up to $139.99, and then I said, that's really expensive. So then we decided there's another option. You could do Disney Plus monthly for $7.99, and it will give you ads. Okay, I could deal with the ads because that's cheaper than that's like 70 something dollars at the end of the year instead of 109, let alone 139. So we just changed it. So starting in April, that'll be the new price. So it doesn't start until April, but that'll be posted on the 14th, and the 15th is when the due date is. So then we have Amazon Prime, which I pay for, which covers my shipping. It also covers you watching certain shows on Amazon Prime. Awesome. So that's what I started looking at again. I'm sorry, this is a little blurry. Now we have our Chewy, which is our dog stuff. Now, this next month in February, the first thing is about $72. That's going to give the dogs their chews for the flea and tick, Cordelio. And it also is going to give their pellets for our guinea pigs is coming out of that first one. And that'll be 72. And then the next one has like dog food and things like that on there. And that one is going to be, I'm trying to find them right here. That'll be $100 at the end of the month. Normally it won't have it twice a month, but that's what it is for February. So that means that this month it'll be the 114 or something like that for the month. But otherwise, it'll be $7.99 and $6.99, and then whatever the Credelio is, which is about $50 plus whatever medicines or whatever has to come out of Chewy. So the next card we have is Credit One. So for Credit One, we have Peacock, $5.99. That's the only thing being charged on there on the 1st, and on the 14th, we'll pay the bill, $5.99. Now this one, unfortunately, I called to verify. Credit One charges daily for interest from the day you purchase. Capital One charges at the end of the month. So if I could pay this off every month, I won't have any interest on this card when I make the payment. This one for Credit One will charge daily. So I figured the $5.99, the first month will have some interest that'll be added on there from what I'm going to do, and I'll talk about that in a second. But then after that, it'll be $5.99 a month, and then it might be 30 cents, 20 cents, something like that they'll charge the following month. So that's going to be that. Discover, we still have a balance. Capital One and Credit One, I'm taking a loan on my life insurance. So I talked a little about this last time. My husband did a life insurance and he had his. And then in 2001, when I had my daughter, we took a $25,000 policy out on me. And we kept taking loans on his to pay for cars for me, things like that that I needed to replace. And it would be like a $2,000 car, $2,500 car. One time it was an $8,000 car. Anyway, we didn't make the principal payments and we didn't make any interest on there because you don't have to on these life insurances. It says you don't have to make any payments. Just at the end, they'll take it off your life insurance. And that's fine until your loan and interest is more than what your policy is worth, basically. So we screwed up, had to go through that. So for mine, I have a life insurance loan that I've had, and I wasn't making my payments. I was not thinking about it, and after he passed, and then everything else that went down, a couple years ago, I started making my yearly instead of monthly life insurance policies on my whole life policy. And then I started making the interest. So when it came out October, I said, I'm going to pay it off. And I said, how much would it cost to pay this off for the year? And they told me, and then it went down and it wasn't $30 a month anymore. It went to $27 or something. So then it's like $309 right now for my life insurance for the year. And then if I wanted to, I could make the interest payment for the loan, which was 200 and something. So then I started doing that for the last couple of years. And so I'm trying to budget for that now. But we decided, I decided I had some money that I could take another loan out on there. And I know that's a bad choice, but that's a 5% interest on that. On my loans for the life insurance, they're 5%. That means every year, whatever loan I have, 5% is charged, and that's the interest I need to pay at the end of the year. So, my credit cards are not. Capital One, 30-something percent. Discover is 24-something percent. And Credit One is 24-something percent. So my thinking, and I could be wrong, tell me if I'm wrong, but I could be taking a loan out on my Prudential, which I've decided to do, which will make my loan higher. Then I'll pay that. I'll make sure that I'm consciously putting money aside for that. It won't pay it off in the first year or even the second year, but I'm trying to make payments to it, and I'll tell you how I'm doing that later. But it's going to get there. Right here, I figure I'll take out $3,500. That'll pay for this credit card and this credit card. So then Capital One and Credit One will be zero balances, and the only thing I got to pay is these monthlies. And I'll keep that going. And then I'll put money towards Discover, and I'll put money towards the life insurance every month. So it'll bring this down. It'll take a little bit, but it will bring this down, and then my normal month charges will go on there. I don't want to put anything on Credit One but one charge, so I don't lose my card, because this is my oldest card I have on file, which affects your credit history on your credit scores and stuff. It'll look like I didn't have credit cards as long, so I gotta have that one stay in place, and that's the worst one in my opinion, because they charge from the day you charge. They don't charge at the end of 28 cycle, 30 cycle, any of that. This one charges from the day. So if I charge $5.99 in the first, it'll charge interest on the first. So I'm trying to make this payment closer to the 14th, but we'll see. And then I have a sheet for this, and I'll show that. And then my house taxes, approximately $1,000 in the spring, $800. Let me break that a little closer. $1,000 in the spring, right now, and $800 in the fall. That's what my approximation is. My house insurance last year was about $1,200 in November, And then my auto insurance, I put approximately $281 a month. And then my variable is Chewy, and that's the 72 to 100. So depending on what's getting charged on that card, on that account, and then it goes into one of the credit cards. So this is a little different as well. This is my one account. Now we took away the bank. That was part of the problem last video, because when I did it, I had my account number, and I was like, oh. And my daughter was editing and she was saying something, so then my first video doesn't show a full sheet like this. So anyway, if we don't have it this far away, then we're having a hard time seeing the whole sheet. So I might have to bring it up like this to you every so often. So anyway, I did change and write a new sheet out. And I changed on the first NICOR, paid through Capital One, 56C for card. The rest are debit. So I did change that. And then here's the second checking account and the one at the different bank. So, and then this one I changed as well. So as you can see, these are my subscriptions. So in here on the 14th, I probably should write these by dates, but that's okay. Amazon Prime is on the 14th for $6.99 on Discover. It is a monthly, and it is renews. Now, Amazon Prime, I don't think we could do yearly. Peacock, I don't think you could do yearly. Same thing, $5.99 on the 1st. I wish I could make this not so blurry. Okay, $5.99, yes. And it's under my credit one. And then Disney, I have the yearly here. And I said that's changing to down here to $7.99. But it starts on April. So we don't have that right now. We don't have anything for that. And then we got Walmart still $98 for the year. And there. Now down at the bottom, these are things I didn't put on here, which I probably should have. They're not subscriptions, but they're different. There's, anyway. So our house warranty comes out on the 27th, $62.99. That's out of the checking account. The first for the auto warranty is $106.12. That is on the Capital One card. So that's for the warranties for the house and the car. That's what those two are for. Now, here's the savings. Here's my calendar. So what I'm going to go over now, this is my monthly, and I've been checking them off as they come out of the account. And one of the things that's different, I got a little tab on top so I know I can go to that page. What's different at the bottom here is I got my loan. I put 100 towards it, but I didn't check it off because it didn't make it to the other accounts yet. My water bill as well, and the taxes. They didn't make it over there yet. So the comment didn't come out because I had it a paid extra in December. So I think it's still zero. And then my NICOR was 89 for the first one, and then after that it goes to that budget plan. So here's my paycheck. So here's the first one. We did this. We talked about this. This one was last week. So now let's go over this week. Now for this week we have, let's get a little higher. Okay. So now on here we have the checks. Now it should have been $690.67. But it was $690.90. So we were looking at what happened. And my daughter has extra I don't know, like we have like Fridays and Saturdays we get an extra $2 a shift, and Tuesday through Thursday we get an extra $1.50 a shift. And for some reason she had a different percentage of an hour on both of those versus the week before. But they were both 20 hours. So I don't know what changed. But it made a difference in a few cents difference. So instead of 67 cents, we had 90 cents. So now it changes. I did house taxes and insurance to Wealthfront. Then over here, I have payment to Capital One. I also was able to add $150 to Discover. So these are, the payment to Capital One went to them through the website, and Discover I did through our checking account. Now down here, I was also able to put $100 to the loan, $20 to the emergency fund, $10 to fast food envelope, and $10 to my 100 envelope challenge. And I'm going to show you that. I didn't really get into that before. So in Wealthfront, I have 200 going to the taxes, which is on the left side. 120. We got 100 going to the loan and 20 going to the emergency fund. And when I get done with all that, I'm down to $50.90. Okay, Alana.
What?
This is blurry every time I bring it up to the camera. Can you help me figure this out?
1 second.
Because they can't see that. I want you to see what I'm showing them.
No, I know what you mean.
So I'm trying to lift it up to the camera, but then it doesn't stay in focus. See, look. And every time, see, it gets blurry.
Because you pull out the paper and do it one at a time because it's not so heavy when you do
No,
it up.
I was having a problem with that. That's why I put the book up. I was doing that, and I was having the same problem. See, it keeps going in and out of focus. So we need to have a way to move this camera down.
Okay, let me put it back
for some of this.
The option is we could do just like this, like,
Yeah.
but you gotta remember how to do it the other way too, like backing out.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get it exactly.
Just do your best, okay?
Okay. So, and then
it's a little darker in here.
my tracker. So my spending tracker, right? So that's this page, the spending tracker for January. So I did show you some of it. I did my January's, my first week, my second week. Now my third week, where's my calculator? Lana.
What?
Where's my calculator?
Go to your other way.
What other way?
To your left.
I'm on my left. Oh, you put it over here. Okay. Calculator. Yes. Now, what I have here is $29.69. Can't even get you in the camera. Sorry, $29.69 plus $87.97. Now the $87.97 was part of our link, but I'm still tracking it. So that means our total for the groceries for that week was $117.66. Oh, I gotta take the paper out. I'm so sorry. A little higher. Okay. So I'll put it right here. Okay, so this is debit and link. And then for gasoline, which is what goes in the vehicle, on the Discover card, $28.41 and $40.71. $69.12. And now we're on a new week. Now we are on Sunday, the 28th. So I don't have anything done yet, but we will have one gas here. We're going to do groceries again because we tried to do this one and only do it for 2 weeks, but we're already noticing when there's things we're missing that we need to purchase. So this will be finished, but I can't finish it today because of that. On the 26th through February 1st, on the Discover, the last thing I have is that. So I did add, let's see, 28.41. Is that down here? 20. Let's see, Lime and Joy. Let me get to my gas. Because for some reason my Discover is not showing all my gas for some reason. 5505 is the 12th through the 18th. Maybe I don't have the gas on here. I don't. Okay, so I'm not gonna. So this is not my gas. This is the Discover plus the gas. Okay. Is that right? What was 625? No, 625 was all that. So I should have 3930 and 3124. But this is not part of it. Okay, I just really messed everything up. Groceries was not Discover. Gasoline was Discover, which I don't see in here. Gurney, Walmart. Yeah, I don't see my gas. But I don't get that total. Let's try to redo this total. 364, 19, 70, 54, and 62.23. That's 496. It is not 687. I don't even know what I'm thinking about all that stuff. The groceries on the debit. It was not on Discover. The gasoline was on Discover. And this stuff down here was on Discover. But this was not part of that. I was putting extra spending for Temu, and the rest went down here. So let's look at this. 26.55, 11, 80.07, 58.59. We ended up having to use a lot of Discover for groceries and different things that month, that week, because it was, I don't know, crazy. But now we want to stay away from all that. Is that 08 or 09? Yeah, 9. Ooh. And then 301.79. Yeah, the 625 was this too. It was not. Ugh. Okay. That's where my problem is. I was trying to figure this out. Like, what is going on? So this 625, I'm not going to put up here. It's 625.36 plus 70.54 plus 65.10 plus 69.12. Now, we're going to probably have one fill up of gas. So right now we're at 830.12 for the month on Discover, which is terrible. Plus the 74.04 for the next week, which was Walmart and Lyman Joy. 55, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, so 1, 2, 73. 74, this is 74.04 plus this 9.99. 914.15 plus whatever gas we do in this week. So far 914.15 Discover through 9, what am I doing? 126. And that's what I'll do. That'll help me. I put it right there in the little budget thing on the side, and that helps me. Now, we're probably not going to be able to pay that down. What we're going to do is, starting now, we're going to get into this a little better. So, let's take this and leave this here on the side. I'm going to put this over here. And then I'm going to take this out so I can fill in my week 3 because I did not fill it in for last week. So my totals are here, and I'll put that here. So first let's do my extra spending, which I was trying to go to 0, but I couldn't quite do that. So $464 was like sewing kit and a pizza cutter. It was in our groceries, but I separated it because that was cash that we used instead of the link card and stuff. And then Dollar Tree, we had to buy certain things at Dollar Tree. You know, they're just different things. And then I had to get my eyes done. So one of the things is I have a heavy script to my glasses, and when I tried to replace my glasses a year ago, they put it in plastic, and the frame broke in like less than a month. It was like ridiculously how fast they broke. So I have to pay for extra lightweight, and my insurance, I have Medicaid, it does not cover any of that. It only covers plastic lenses. So if you do have a regular script, that's fine. But when you have astigmatisms that are like really high, like mine, and I'm farsighted, it's too heavy for the frames. So I paid $50. So that came out of my extra spending. So it's $58.73. And I did use my debit card for that. So now let's rewrite these here for the week of the 19th through the 25th. So the groceries for that week were $117.66, and out of that, $87.97 was on link. We might not have this anymore, but when we do, we're using it. $69.12 is gas. And like I said, this week here, our gas will not be in the 60s. It'll be like 30s or 40s because we're going to fill up before we go to work, and we're still at half a tank right now, approximately. Now our extra spending was $58.73. So starting next week in February, our extras are going to be a lot less because we're not doing a lot of stuff. So that's what we have. Week 2 on this, week 1, week 2, week 3 for Discover was 74. Wait, nope, $9.99. It says Discover after gas not included. Tried to pay some back sooner. So $625.36, $74.04, and $9.99. Now for week 4, let's hope we won't have anything. But I can't finish that until the end of the week. So what we have here is, this is Sunday, and on let me put this back in the page protector. So now what I did was I have my calendar for February, and I started putting the bills and stuff, and I'm like, ugh, this is really too much. Capital One, like I said, I will be paying that off this week. We should have a check in the next couple of days, and then I'll make payments to Credit One and Capital One to pay them completely off, and then when I'm done with that, we'll be good to go. And then I got my budget for the month. I separated my paychecks on the side. I was like, let me put this in place. Okay, so this is my budget for my month in February. Total income, I don't have it, but I might do what I did in the last, not this check that we just got, but the check before. We'll just go by that total, and we'll times it times the paychecks we get in February, which is, okay, $690.67. And in February there are 4 checks. So that's $2,762.68. So I'm going to put that into February, and we'll start with that right here. Take it out of the page protector. So that's $2,762.68. $762.68. And we'll put it right there. So we're thinking, as a budget, we'll just put our total, and it'll change if it's wrong. $690.67. Now, so on here we have Nicor, Amazon Chase, Foundation, Capital One, Auto, for Alana, which will not be 64. It'll be a little higher, but then we have a zero balance. Then my mortgage, which will be changing come March, I believe, because that 70 something that they're taking out for my escrow will not be taken out anymore after that. We should be down to zero. Our Capital One Auto, ComEd, Xfinity Mobile, Sunrun, Comcast Internet, and Dell all come out of that check, which is $1,075.70. But what we were thinking is, first of all, let me see. Did I put the 56 on there? 35, 43, 73, 64, 316, 73. 333, 76, 16, 91, 77, 48, 71, and 70. Yeah, we did add that. So we don't need to add this. So it's actually 1,019.70 because this one is actually on a card. So we need to start remembering that. So what we were thinking is possibly changing some of these. Instead of making the full payment all at once, we will budget it a little less and do, like, say, for our mortgage, take out $50 a week, put it aside. Our auto, take about $75 a week, put it aside. Then we're not coming out all at once at the beginning of the month, but we'll see. Our next one is my daughter's student loans, etc., etc., etc. Now, one of the things is we took all these and printed them out for the year. So I did the March, and then I put the calendar together and all that. What has to change is this was so full, so I took all the months out but March. I have March in here, and we'll put that in place as we go along. Now here's all my coloring sheets. So I put this is the taxes that we are doing right now, which actually should be pretty much full. Now we're not going all the way to the top because we're not doing the 1,200. We know our taxes are less than 1,000. It's $980 something. So what's going to happen is this one, I'm going to take the money out at the end of this month. So when I put my $200 taxes in there, I won't take it out of my checking account. I will just leave it in the savings, the 200, and I'll transfer 800 out of my Wealthfront and go from there. So Wealthfront is awesome. So when I take money and I put it aside, what I end up with is 5% interest on that account. So there you go. 5 months, 5% interest, which is what I get for my Wealthfront account. And when I pay into there, then I could put them in subcategory. I could put them in categories. So I got my house taxes. Right now it's $800. I have 200. I have like 320 or 330 something going over this weekend. So Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, it'll show up in the Wealthfront account. So when I get to my Wealthfront account, at that point, then I'll put it into the subcategories. Okay, this is 200 goes to the house taxes. 100 goes to the water bill. 100 goes to the loan, because I put 100 towards the loan this week. That was my stuff. So in here are my debt. I plan on paying this off and this off with that loan. A lot of people would say don't take life insurance loans out and stuff, but they help you as long as you use your head and pay back the loan. And I was not worried about the loan. Who cares? When I'm dead, I'll have my cremation done. She has one life insurance policy that I figured she could do all the stuff that she needs for me. Do a little party for me, have a good time. Take the other, whatever's left, pay it towards bills, pay my bills off, pay her bills off, whatever needs to be done. Because at that point, I should have a lot of stuff paid off. But we started thinking about it, and we were like, we should pay back the loan. We won't be able to pay back huge chunks, but if I could put the money in the wealth fund, and that money in August, make payments to the loan, then that'll be before all the interest gets added in. But when I looked at my loan, it looks like they've already added some interest since I made my payment in November or October. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that a little closer. So we got our mortgage, the student loan, the foundation, finance. These things, not as concerned about adding extra payments because they're still less than 4 years. Because at the end of 2028, well, actually, the auto is in 2027, like spring of 27. I should be paid off with that. I hope the car lasts that long, because I got a lot of mileage on there. My mortgage, December of 2028, will be paid off. Now, what I didn't explain was, in 2003, we took this mortgage out, $65,000. In 2008, everybody was losing their jobs. My husband did not lose it, but the next year he did. They closed their building. They closed he worked at a bakery. They completely closed it. So he went on unemployment. I told him, take some time. You've been working really hard your whole life. Take some time. Don't worry about a job right now. We had enough money in the unemployment to help us. Then our mortgage, it was so much. It was like $800 and something. We couldn't afford it. We called him up. We talked to him. There was a program out. At that point, he had already got another job at a church. If you made less than 30% less than what you were making at your original job, there was a government program out there. So, in order to do that, you had to put everything on escrow. You had to have auto payments, blah, blah, blah. So, it brought it down to $495, $450, something like that. So, that was our total. And that included escrow, taxes, insurance, all that, and the principal, mortgage, and all that. And it was 2% interest. Awesome, right? Perfect. We didn't realize when that happened, we had a balloon payment. So I was paying it off. We were paying our mortgage. Never thought anything of it. They took care of taxes. They took care of the insurance. We picked what insurance we wanted, but they took care of it all. When my husband died in 2016, I called him because my mother-in-law was paying our mortgage while he was going through cancer, because we had no income coming in anymore. So she helped with that. And what happened was, his job was awesome. The church was awesome. They found ways to give us, helping with funding and things. So we were able to do things like pay for the electricity, gas in the vehicle to move around and stuff. My daughter was homeschooled, so we needed to move around for that. He went through his chemos, things like that. But when he finally did pass, when my mother-in-law told the mortgage that he died, I was very mad at her, because we have this mortgage that he was part of. I did not want that issue. So anyway, as I was talking to them, I said, no, I'm supposed to be done with this mortgage in 2030. They said, no, in 2030, your balloon payment will be due. I was like, what? That's when I realized I had $40,000 left on the loan. I did not have an income. My husband had applied for disability. He was approved. He got the disability. started coming the month of November. So the first check was in December, but he died in November in the middle of the month. So anyway, he got it. It showed up in our bank. His check, my check, and my daughter's check. Because when you have somebody that you're taking care of their child and they're on disability and they're under 16, you all get some type of money, which was awesome. So she got her money, I got mine, and he got his under his disability. And then I called him up. I said, he passed away. I need you to take this check back and redistribute it the right way. They said, well, that's okay. This is your money. It's just reallocated. I said, no, take the money back. The bank would not send it back. The Social Security would not take the money back. I said, okay, then I'm going to pay my bills. Because we were behind on bills. We wanted to get caught up. I made payments, took care of everything. What happened? We went to the bank. I said, you know what? I need to put my daughter on all these accounts because if something happens to me, she won't be able to access anything. So as I did this, I had to take his name off of the checking. So we had to keep his name on one account because you always keep that deceased person on there in case there's a check that comes. Which we've had refunds from our township, like $15, $30, but it's in like his and my name. So we still are getting checks every so often with his name on it. So anyway, took his name off of the checking, but left him on the savings. What happened? Social Security took his $1,700 out. So now my bank had negative $1,000 something. And I was like, are you kidding me? And then it took time for them to redistribute the correct check to where mine was under, mine had changed and all that. Our checks had changed in the amounts because they went from him getting his disability and then each of us getting it to the two of us getting it under survivor benefits. So when that happened, that's when we started talking to everybody. So I called, got that straightened out. Then I called the mortgage and I talked to him. We owed $40,000 at the time. I was like, oh man, how am I going to pay this off? And then, we had losses in the family that had life insurance with us as beneficiaries. My husband as a beneficiary, things like that. So we were able to take some money and put it towards this stuff. And that's why the 2% was fixed up to so many years. And then it could go up and stuff. So now it's at 4.25%, but it won't go up anymore. But because of all these payments that I put towards it, getting back to that, my balance is $12,583. So instead of being due in 2030 and having a balloon payment of like $10,000 or more, they said they figured it'd probably be still $10,000 at that point. We're being paid off December of 2028. So that's before the end of the term, which is awesome to me. And if you do the math, you could figure this out. I can't figure out the auto, though, on how to figure out how much interest and how much principal goes every month. I can't figure that one out because they do daily compound. Mortgage does not do that. Mortgage is 4.75%. Divided by 12 gives you 0.0033, and all these numbers. And then you multiply that times your principal. And that tells you your interest. And then you subtract that from your base of what you're paying for a principal and mortgage every month. There's a way to do it. And I figured it out. And I'm so proud of myself for doing it. But by doing all that, I could figure out, okay, by the end of 2027, this is how much is going to be paid to the principal every month. And, so anyway. So I am December of 28, and my mortgage will be paid off. The student loan is 6 years, so about 2030, it should be paid off, if not a little earlier if we can make extra payments. The credit cards are a different story, but these are the ones that we know. Foundation finance, we don't understand what the interest is. We kind of tried to figure it out. We think it's 3-something%, but something else that when you look it up, foundation is like 11%. I don't think it's 11%, or maybe mine wasn't 11, whatever. So we got all this, and we've decided to go with the Avalanche. The Avalanche, but modified. So we're doing the highest interest first, which is Capital One. Amazon chains, I have the percentages right here. I know 30.24% for Capital One, 27.49 for my Amazon Chase, but I can make $100 payments. I could get that paid down pretty fast. Not worried about that. Discover is 25.24%. Credit One is 25.15. I thought it was 24. I was wrong. My Capital One auto is 8.07%, which is high for an auto, some people think, but we didn't have a choice. Mortgage 4.25%, student loan 3.48%. We found that out by looking at the site, figuring it out. This one I think is similar, but everything should be paid off by that point. And then I still got Neptune and Five Lakes. Now, Five Lakes is a 46-month thing, a program. I started it in August of 2023. So if you go 24, 25, 26, 27, so July of 27, then you go back 2 more months because it's not 48 months, it's 46 months. So July, there'd be June and May. So May of 2027, that'll be done. See, and that's if we make no extra payments at all. Neptune will take a little time. It's 1867 as of January. And then we divide that by $50 payments. That is 37 1/3 of a month. That's how many months we have left on that. So we're looking at 3 years, so that would be 27 as well. See, so everything in 27 and 28 will be paid off, which is really awesome. So on my debt snowball for January, I put 150 plus 150. I have $300 went to my snowball. Pretty cool. So my debt snowball does not have my life insurance loans though, which I did find sheets. Exciting. So we have 2 loans. Okay. We have 2 loans. So the first loan is $47.70, and that one is every $96. We will fill in 1 line, so you go straight across. Now, on the second line, you see there's the background, and then there's the letters. So, yeah. My daughter started doing that with a couple of things, and she's so excited. Look at this is Tetris. You know Tetris? You guys know Tetris? Oh, it's so cool. Anyway, so she's coloring in each of these. So far she's did 25 boxes. And every time we do our $415, $415, and then we divide that by the 96, she could fill in 4 boxes. Now, when I did the math, it's like 1909. Let's see, 19090. Really what I did is I did 415 times 46 months gives me $19,090. And then I take that number, 19,090, and I divide it by how many boxes are on here. And this says there's 200 pieces to color in. And that gives you 95.45. I just rounded up to 96. So instead of $95 and you fill in a square, it's 96. That's okay. So she'll be able to do, for every 415, she'll be able to do 4 boxes. So there she'll fill in 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. Yeah. And she's excited about this coloring sheets. She's 22, but she just loves the color because it's helping her with the debt. Because our debts are we just put them together on this. Her debt, my debt, we're putting them together because we're living in the same house. I'm not going anywhere. She's not going anywhere. Even when she gets married, we're going to live together. That's our thought. Hopefully, whoever she finds will feel the same way. My Neptune, which is $50. So that means every time I make a payment on Neptune, it's $19 for each square. We'll be able to fill in 2 colors. Now this is very light. It could be because we were running out of black ink at the time. Discover every $91. Now that is principal change, not that. Here's another one for Discover. This has got 10 at the bottom, so for, same thing. This one, we didn't do the math, but we'll do it later. Credit 1. The car loan, for every $283 going to our principal, will be a line. That's a little higher. Okay. Now, like I said, the emergency, we have money, it's in the emergency, but it's $10. So on the back side, we were able to do 1 here. See? So that's the starter emergency fund. She has 3 of these she printed out, all starters. So this one, we can't fill it in yet, but we can the back one. So we got 1 little thing done. And here is another emergency fund, but I don't think we're going to do this one yet. That might be a second emergency starter one or whatever. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to get off here, and I hope you enjoyed. Take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. We are looking at every week. I do plan on doing the budget. I also plan on, I forgot to show you. Here's a 100 envelope challenge. So let me take this off the screen. We bought this box. We were trying to find the 100 envelope challenge. They're like $11 for minimum for them. So what we did is we found this box. This was at Dollar Tree. It was under the Valentine section. And then we took index cards, 3x5s. I'm going to start with the one that we didn't color. We took index cards, we folded them in half, taped the sides on the top. We taped the sides on both sides. Then we numbered them 1 through 100. So this is 51. Then I had my daughter color them. So she put like color, just colored the number like that. Then we don't have a lot of money, but we did find a way for a few weeks to add some money in. So we filled in these 4. So we did a $20 bill. So we said, okay, we got a $20 bill. We'll fold it in half, put it inside of the one that's been colored, and that's it. Then we put it in the back of the box, right there. So then we're like, okay, so we found 15, a 10 and a 5, did the same thing. Folded it up, put it away. So we worked on that on a couple. We don't have the money, but, I was like, you know what? We were cleaning the house. We found $16, so I put a 15 in one of them. Then we went, when the paycheck came 2 weeks ago, we took $40 out. So we took 20 and put it in the envelope here. And then we put 20 into our fast food. Last week, we took, and we wanted 2 10s. Well, we went to the ATM, got the 20 out, got another 20. So I actually got 40 out, and then I was like, I need change. So then I sent her to the store, and she went to the store, and I said, okay, go to a regular checkout and get extra money. Get 2 10s. So now I had 40 from the ATM, and I had 2 10. I got 2 10s. So I put 10 in this one, a 10, folded it in half, put it inside, and then the other 10 I put into fast food. Now I still got $40, trying to figure out where to put that. I didn't touch it yet. It's still in my wallet. And then I said, we have a single. We find a $1. And what we do? We put it in there. I was trying not to go with the lowest ones. Now, one of the things we need to do is start filling in these hundreds and stuff, but that's going to take some time. I might have to put money in there and then take it out. But anyway, look, it fills in. This is 1 through 100. It fills in, and there's extra room. Now, what's going to happen is as the money gets filled in, it'll get fuller, but I'll take this money and put it in the wealth front at that point. So this one's that. Now, here are our wallets. So, we bought these, and these are our wallets. So, I'm going to show you mine, and then I'll show part of a lot of this, but not big. So, it's got spots for my credit card, debit card, insurance cards, things like that. It came with this, so we can fill in what stuff is. Mine hasn't been touched, but here is the $40 in this. Alana, thank you. Here's the $40 we put it inside. I don't have anything on mine. That's why I'm going to show you hers, because hers we did a little more labeling, but I don't want to show you her stuff. So I'm going to pull this over. So right here, see? It's got that. Now, the first one we have is receipts, because we go to an app called Bark. And Bark lets you take pictures of your receipts and you get points for it. We actually used the ATM that gave us the $40, took a picture of it and got 25 points for it. As long as it has the name of the store and the amount. That's what it needs on these receipts. And then you get points. So over here are the budget sheets. So we deposited $60 into this one, which is fast food. We haven't used it yet. We had this saved a year or two ago, put it in an envelope, and we had never touched it because I was like, we're done going out to fast food. We can't afford it. Actually, it wasn't a year ago. It was probably over the summer of last year. But anyway, so we have this 320s. We put it in here. This one here, she had the $1. We just put it in for fun. But she got fun. She don't have a label for anything else. But that's the plan. Now, the other binders that we purchased, because we really did not have binder, we didn't have things like wallets, proper wallets. We had stuff, but it really wasn't. So here's the long terms. So here's a blue one. Why is it all wonky? Why are you wonky? Okay, that's a little better. Okay, long term. So we got household. We got a lot of these envelopes that we're not really using, but I'm using them in Wealthfront instead. So household, home maintenance. We need to save up for that. Christmas. I got to put an envelope aside for Christmas. Vacation. I plan on visiting my brother and going on vacation, but I'm thinking we need to have enough money saved up on our work to have paid time off for at least a week. And then we also need to have money to go for gas and things like that. And we'll probably use the credit cards, but we need to save up to make sure our credit cards are at zero, and we can do that. Then we got the emergency fund. Now, I am starting the emergency fund on my Wealthfront, but right now, so these are long term. These are things, in my opinion, that are over a year away. Christmas is not over a year, but anyway. Here's the short term, semi-short term. So in here we got pets. So our dogs go to the spa. That cost about $90. I paid a $10 tip because our new dog, 2 years old, so many months, they put the dog in the bath and the dog jumped out. Could be because the dog just really hasn't had baths. I mean, we really didn't give the dog a bath. We've had the dog since November, 2 months ago. We've sprayed her down when she got muddy outside, but we really haven't bathed her. And we don't know if the Humane Society bathes them. We realized on her stomach she had these black marks. Thought it was part of her fur. But as you're rubbing her and scrubbing her and, just playing with her, in the last 2 months, it's come off. She's white down there. She was black in areas. I thought that was her fur. So that shows they really don't bathe them like I thought they did. Anyway, my pet care, we've been putting some money aside for a couple months now. I mean, not a couple months. For a couple weeks now, we put some money aside. So when we had extra cash, we put it in there. We had money saved up for the spa. But this is supposed to be for spa. This is supposed to be for the Cordelio, for their food, things like that. And we put pets instead of dogs because we do have two female guinea pigs, and we have 2 female dogs. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Now this is what's left over from the money we had put aside for our first dog to go to the spa, and we had put a couple $100 in there. She went to the spa. She went to the spa a second time, and this is the 3rd time she's been. We had a stray we brought him the last time to the spa, so we had $65 the first time, and we gave like a $30 tip. It was humongous. I don't know what I'm doing. Second time we went, we had $90 for those 2 dogs, and then this one was $90, and we paid an extra $10 tip. So now we're only down to $17. We have to start filling this up so they could go back in the next month or 2. And there we go. Hustle. That is my gig work. We put that down. This is the fast food that we did originally have the $60 in. There's a 20 in here. And we have a 10 that we have in the dino. So actually it's 30, but we have them in separate envelopes for some reason. We have fun night. That would be like to go out with your friends. My daughter to go out with her friends. Me to go out with my friends. Which I never have money for. So personal. And my gardening. We got to start saving up for that because that's coming up any time now. So these are my 2 binders for the envelopes. Which, if I put it on the budget that I'm putting it aside, like the $10 for the fast food, it goes in here. If it's the cash envelopes, it goes in the box, like this. I mean, we have some money already in here, and I am so shocked that I was able to do anything in this. But that's where we are with that. Now, the next thing that we're working on, I got a password book, and I bought them, never used them. Then I bought them, wrote them in there, and then lost them. Don't know what I did with them. This is not focusing as well as I want. Maybe I got to get this off the screen. It's kind of grainy. Anyway, so always have a password book. What you do is, I'm not going to show you my passwords. I'm going to be better at that. But I'm going to open up to a blank sheet. So on here, it gives you what account it is for, the username and the password, the email, the phone number, the note or hint, and all that for each account. So you can fill this out. I had to do that just recently for my paychecks because I had to figure out what my password was because Alana, my password book just went behind everything. You gotta pick it up. My new job has the paychecks through ADT. Something like that. But it was also the same paycheck company that one of my old jobs used. So now my stuff, my username, my password, all that stuff is lined up. Email and everything is lined up with their stuff. Not with the new company, not with my stuff that I signed in and my, I put my username, I put my password, my email, all that. They have it through the old company. Now, the old company had an email that was not mine. It was like my name, and then the end was their domain stuff. It was weird. So we had to write that down because we can't change it. This is just one example of why you need to have a password book. Because sometimes you have things like my password is not the problem. With that one, it's the username or the email. It's weird. So, anyway, I'm going to get off now. I've been on an extra little bit, and this is a little longer than I want it to be. But I'm going to come back next week and I'll do another video. Bye.